Liberty Society of Virginia. It's our moment not only to pray, but to allow the good spirits to treat us wherever we are. Of course, healings happen everywhere on earth. It doesn't depend on a house, on a temple. It depends only in an inner disposition. So it's on us to prepare ourselves for this moment. Our team is here ready to facilitate it for all of us, all of our homes. So, welcome, friends, to this opportunity of recharging, rebalancing wherever we are. So, we're going to begin with a message that our dear friend Kara Correa is going to read for us.
Good evening, friends. Tonight we are going to read another message from the book The Way, the Truth, and the Life by the Spirit Mentor Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. The message is number 40 and it is entitled A Time for Trust. And he asked them, "Where's your faith?" Luke 8:25. Emmanuel explains. The storm had troubled the souls of even the strongest disciples. Disoriented before the fury of the elements, they cried out for Jesus' help. The Master does help them, but then asks, "Where's your faith?" This scene suggests some heavy pondering. Jesus' question clearly points out the need for trust when everything seems dark and lost. In such circumstances, faith will rise to the occasion in its own time. If there is a time for working and resting, for sowing and reaping, trust will also show itself at the appropriate hour. Nobody needs to be optimistic when everything is going well. It is difficult to prove one's friendship in moments of happiness. Of course, disciples should expect opportunities for more struggles, times when they can apply the teachings of the Lord more extensively and intensively. Otherwise, it would be impossible to tell just how much they have grown spiritually. During these dolorous times, many invoke direct help from Christ, and help always comes because the heavenly mercy is infinite. But once the difficulty is overcome, there will always be the question, where's your faith? More obstacles will appear until the disciple learns how to serenely control, educate him or herself based on the lessons received.
Thank you, Carol, for this opportunity of leading us into this prayerful moment. And now we invite everyone as we meditate on this message, A Time for Trust, by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. Let us pray. Let us all visualize the beauty of our universe, the stars in the cosmos, galaxies, the infinity of life, an ever-expanding universe. And we on earth, small but unique. We're part of it all. God, you continue creating. You don't stop. And as Jesus said, you are our ultimate inspiration for unceasing work. During these hours, dramatic hours on earth, many are desperate because they felt they lost control of it. What an illusion. We have never had control of anything, but you do, and you have always had. What a time, perfect in itself, to surrender to you. And we feel safer this way. And this is not an irrational move of ourselves. Actually, this decision to surrender to you completely comes out of our reasoning, for we are not self-created, and we cannot either sustain ourselves at each breath. We trust in you, and we know that you're presiding our lives. Like a baby in the crib, we feel ourselves provided by you, cared for by you. There's no doubt. May we humble ourselves in this trust of your love and simplify our lives, regaining joy and hope as we have the courage to face ourselves and transform to more effective creators, co-creators with you. May these moments together be truly therapeutic as we feel the presence of the spirit doctors, the nurses, and the therapists available to visiting us right now and proceeding during this half hour into the rescue work that we need. May we stay under your guidance, feeling your protection as you grant us the permission to this treatment, and so be it. So, dear friends, here we are. This is online spiritual care, and the remedy begins in our minds. To boost that up, our dear friend Daisy Gallen is going to be here sharing a message from the book Jesus in the Home by the spirit author Neil Lucio through Chico Xavier.
Hi, friends. It's such a gift to be here with all of you today. And tonight, we're going to be reflecting on this beautiful message that is in this book right here, Jesus in the Home, by our dear Chico Xavier, from the spirit Neil Lucio. If you're not familiar with this book, it's a beautiful account of Jesus himself that in his intimate gatherings with the disciples. So we have an opportunity kind of to insert ourselves there, to feel that we are there with Jesus in this beautiful gathering, sitting down and listening directly to his teachings. So the message tonight is called The Need for Understanding. And Neil Lucio started describing to us that in the gatherings with the disciples, Jesus saw that one of the disciples, he was very downcast. He was very sad. He was quiet. So, as a great master, Jesus asked him, what is happening, right? Why are you feeling this way? So such a beautiful, right? Like a father figure to us asking, like, how are the disciples doing? And this disciple, he was upset because he said that he was on the streets asking for his debtors to pay him, and he was received with ingratitude and sarcasm. So, before moving forward, I think it's very important for us to stop right there and bring this a little bit closer to us. How many of us, and I believe all of us, face this in our daily lives, right? We are talking to people, we are in our daily activities with our families, with our family members, with our co-workers, colleagues, neighbors, and we are received with ingratitude or sarcasm. People don't understand us, or they have attitudes, words towards us that are not very welcoming. So Jesus, has a great master, he then told the following story to the disciples. A long time ago, a great master, he was very knowledgeable of the laws, he was very wise, and he had a school. He had a school of understanding and kindness. And very similar to the story that we just heard directly from Leo Lucio, one of his apprentices, he was also very downcasted, very upset. And when asked him why he was feeling this way, he said that he was mistreated on the streets in the town square. So, as a great teacher, this master of the law took his students out to the streets of Jerusalem to see himself and teach him a lesson. So, they were there, they were asking for alms, they were asking for help for the passerbyers. And someone comes and they're asking for their help, but they were received with not very welcoming words. This man was harsh. He was ridicule. He ridiculized them. He wasn't welcoming. And they let the man go, but the master told the student, let's follow that man and let's see what happens next. So they follow him through the market, through the streets, and they soon realize that that very man who welcomed them with ridicule, sarcasm, was very sick. He fell down on the floor. He was in a lot of pain and he was suffering himself. So then the master continued with his disciple. He continued there in the market asking for help. When someone else comes by, and this person, they didn't even recognize them. He gave them a stare, not very welcome, very harsh, and he just continued on in his pathway. So then the teacher told the student again, let's follow him and let's see what happens. So they followed this man to his home and observing from a distance. And they saw that when this man arrived in his home, he unfortunately had the news that his daughter was dead. She had passed away. So then the student and the teacher continues on, right? They continue on asking others, and they continue on this path of following to see what is happening. In the next case, they come in touch with a man where, when asked if he could help them, if he could lend them, some help, he was outraged. He said he would put them in prison. And how was this possible that they were there in the market? So again, with a lot of hatred towards them. And they did the same. They followed this man along to see what would happen next. And then they learned later on that this man who had himself said he would put them in prison, he had an enormous debt. He was in a lot of financial difficulties. So in this part in the story, the teacher turns to the master, the teacher turns to the student and asks him, did you learn the lesson? So he's asking all of us, right? Did we learn the lesson? Because he said we need to accept the need of understanding as a holy command in life. In this point in the story, we go back to Jesus. Because Jesus, as he always did, right? He taught us in parables, but he always provide the explanation to the disciple, to his followers. And he closed by explaining to all of us, these are Jesus' words himself. Whenever we meet up with bearers of affliction, we must show mercy and help them to regain inner peace. So, a very profound lesson, right, friends? But it's important that we bring this again close to our hearts and close to us. I'm sure we can relate as we go through our daily lives. Our words, our actions are received with harsh words, harsh attitudes, sarcasm. They're not welcoming. Has the man that we saw in the story sometimes is not even a word, but a look, an attitude. And we take that most of the time, right, personally. It hurts us. But Jesus himself, our master, taught us as he was going through the difficulties of being crucified, of going through the mistreatment that he went through at the cross. What was his attitude, right? He could have complained, cried, right? So many different things. But what was his message to us at the cross? Jesus said, Master, please forgive them because they don't know what they're doing, right? So that's for us this lesson of today, as we saw, when people have those attitudes towards us, we don't know what they are going through in their own lives. All of us, we have our challenges. All of us, I'm sure, can relate, as we also go through our lives, and sometimes we say things or have attitudes where we look back and we say, why did I say that? Why that happened, right? And sometimes we're going through a difficult day in our lives. So it's a lesson for us to put ourselves in other shoes, to really put ourselves and think, we don't know what this person is going through. So, Master, please forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. And most of the time, friends, that very person is suffering much, much more than we are. And we have no idea what they are going through. So Jesus brings us the message of understanding, how understanding is fundamental in our lives. And before we close, I want to close by saying a quote from this book right here, Thought in Life. There's a whole beautiful chapter that talks about understanding and how understanding is vital if we wanted to succeed in a reincarnation. We know the laws of God, right? the laws of action and reaction. People have their free will, they have the choice, right? But we also have a choice. If we take that attitude personally in our lives, right? Their actions is in their hands, but at the time that we take that personally, then it depends on what we will do with it, right? So, how we can protect ourselves. In this beautiful book, Thought and Life, Emmanuel gives us the recipe. And he says, if we want to undo the handcuffs of evil we have forged against ourselves, we must seek the good, feel the good, visualize the good, and mold the good with all the resources we have at hand. So, tonight, friends, I think the mentors are inviting us to really seek the good in everything. Don't take things personally, really build that understanding inside each and every one of us, because through that understanding, we're going to protect ourselves and we also gonna help others because we would pray for them, we will put ourselves in their shoes, and we will really understand that they are probably going through a much difficult time than we are. So we thank you, and we continue with the next part of our treatment of tonight.
Thank you, Daisy. Thank you for sharing this with us. Thank you, Daisy, for sharing this message with us. And now we're going to invite Luciana, and I are going to lead us into the virtual passes. We are going to be connected, all of us who are here, and even if you are on demand or listening to this, visualize yourself in a quiet place. Bring your cups, as I have here, cups and bottle of water, and allow the spirit doctors to come and treat us. Luciana is going to facilitate the virtual passes, followed by our final prayer.
So let us all now close our eyes, breathing in and out, feeling the presence of the doctors, nurses, and our mentors surround us. Let us visualize us walking on a field full of beautiful flowers, a lavender field. And as we walk, we can feel the wind blowing our faces, making us feel the presence of God surround us. As we continue to walk, we start to connect even more with the good spirits. And we meet with this beautiful light illuminating not only us, but also our soul. We can feel things that were unnecessary being dissolved and transforming into light, on the pathway that we need to follow. Now we can see a beautiful pathway illuminated, showing us the way. And we feel so comfortable and feel the loving and care of our Creator. We feel the love embrace hugging us. Showing us that we are not alone and we are receiving the treatment that we must and that we need at this moment. We feel the peace, this inner peace that we've been looking for all day. Our heart a feel of love and joy as we are receiving this loving treatment from the spiritual realm. We feel all the energies being aligned with the divine. And we can see that we are shining together with this divine light. And as we shine, every cells of our bodies being healed and being enveloped with healing energies, giving us the boost that we need. So as we feel this treatment, we know that we are loved. And now it's time for us to enjoy this healing, this beautiful treatment that we received. And all the loving energies poured in our water that will heal us in a deep way, healing our body and our souls. And as we continue to feeling this treatment from above, as we connect with the higher spirit, we ask our dear friend Paloma to do the final prayer.
Let us maintain our eyes closed. Dear loving Master, we are here together, gathered in this moment of spiritual healing, of inner renewal and inner knowledge. We are so thankful, dear Master, for all the care and love you have dedicated to each one of us, for sending the spiritual teams to visit us in our house, blessing us and everyone that is with us. We pray
that our hearts are open to receive the blessings that have been showered all around us. Let us feel it so that we allow the healing to happen as it depends on us. Master Jesus, you have given us so many opportunities to do better, to do more. And we pray that in the moments that are critical right now, critical for our own progress, that we come and do our part as a team player in your team. We are forever grateful for also the loving team of the SSVA in both realms that have prepared and dedicated time to this moment. The spirit mentors that accompany us, guide us, and inspire us on the beautiful works that need to be done. And with your permission and with your blessings, we ask to close this moment of reflections tonight, and so be it.
Thank you, Paloma. Thank you, friends. Thank you, everyone who joined us in this moment. Now you may drink your water and remember, since tonight we're dedicating to a special spiritual care, avoid watching anything regarding the news. If you have to work, go feeling the blessings, but if you can, retreat. Take this moment as if you are going through a spiritual treatment, a surgery. Take it easy. Go earlier to bed if you can, and allow the spirits to continue working with you. We wish you many blessings, and until next Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, when Spiritual Online Care is going to be here.